Hey everyone, welcome back to the AI Tech channel. Today, we're tackling a story that's got everyone talking and a little worried. What happens when Silicon Valley meets Washington, D.C., and AI starts making the decisions? Specifically, what happens when Elon Musk, known for his ambitious ventures, gets involved in streamlining government operations? We're talking about reports of AI being used to find budget cuts within the Department of Education and the potential for a much larger shakeup across federal agencies. Is this a brilliant move towards efficiency or a cause for serious concern? Let's dive in. All right, here's the headline. According to reports, Elon Musk's team is reportedly using an AI system, internally nicknamed DOGE, to identify areas for budget reduction within the Department of Education. This comes amid broader concerns about Musk's expanding influence within government, particularly through appointments within the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, and the General Services Administration, GSA. We're talking about young, relatively inexperienced engineers being placed in positions of significant authority. This isn't just about saving money. It's about who decides how and where those savings come from. And that's where things get interesting and potentially a little scary. Let's break down the immediate impacts on these agencies, starting with the Department of Education. If these reports are accurate, using an AI like DOGE to make budget decisions raises some huge questions. Are we sacrificing crucial programs for vulnerable students just to hit arbitrary cost-cutting targets? What happens when the algorithm makes a mistake? And more broadly, are we comfortable with machines dictating educational policy? Now, consider the OPM and GSA. The appointment of individuals lacking extensive government experience could lead to a significant reduction in agency effectiveness. We're talking about potentially poor decision-making, inefficient processes, and a fundamental misunderstanding of the complex legal and administrative landscape. These agencies could fail to meet their objectives, or even cause real harm through mismanagement. Think about it. These are the agencies that manage the government workforce and its vital infrastructure. Imagine you're a seasoned government employee dedicated to public service for decades. Now, you have to justify your job to a 20-something fresh out of Silicon Valley. How would you feel? This is a real concern. Experienced government employees may become demoralized, leading to a loss of institutional knowledge and a potential exodus of skilled workers from the OPM, GSA, and potentially the DOE. We're not just talking about losing bodies. We're talking about losing years of expertise, knowledge, and dedication. This expertise flight could cripple these agencies in the long run. Are we really willing to risk that for the sake of perceived efficiency? Okay, this is where things get even more serious. Granting A-suite level clearance to individuals without proper vetting raises serious security concerns. We're talking about access to sensitive information and IT systems. This could lead to data breaches or misuse of government resources. Think about the potential for foreign adversaries to exploit these vulnerabilities. And let's not forget the AI itself. Running DOGE on sensitive data from the DOE could lead to breaches or other misuses of information. We need to ask, are the security protocols in place robust enough to prevent this? Is anyone truly watching the watchers? The involvement of individuals with ties to Musk companies, Neuralink, SpaceX, XAI, even DOGE, raises serious concerns about regulatory capture. This means that decisions may be influenced by personal or corporate interests rather than the public good. Are we creating a system where government policy is dictated by the needs of a handful of tech giants? This isn't just a hypothetical concern. It's a very real possibility. We need to ensure that government decisions are made in the best interests of the American people, not the bottom line of a corporation. And that AI being used to look for cuts? That kind of technology could be used to skew policy in the directions of the interests of those running it. That is an issue. The consequences don't stop within the walls of the OPM, GSA, and DOE. This situation has the potential to impact entire industries. The integration of tech industry talent into government roles could lead to policies more favorable to the tech industry as a whole. This could impact competition, regulation, and innovation across various sectors. And what about government contractors? If the GSA's IT systems are compromised or reevaluated, it could affect government contractors who rely on those systems or provide services to the GSA. We're talking about a potential domino effect that could reshape the entire landscape of government contracting. Here's another potential casualty: consulting firms. The agency's existing or future contract work with consulting firms could be scrutinized or reduced, as the inexperienced staff may seek to replace these firms. This could lead to job losses within the consulting industry and a potential loss of valuable expertise for the government. Are we sure that replacing experienced consultants with inexperienced staff is a wise decision? Or are we simply cutting costs without considering the long-term consequences? Beyond the immediate impacts on government agencies and related industries, there are broader socio-economic consequences to consider. The perceived lack of transparency and potential conflicts of interest could erode public trust in government institutions. And the focus on AI-driven budget cuts in the Department of Education could disproportionately affect vulnerable populations or underfunded programs, exacerbating existing inequalities. Are we creating a system where the most vulnerable members of society bear the brunt of these changes? We need to ensure that any budget cuts are implemented fairly and equitably, and that the needs of all students are taken into consideration. If critical government functions are disrupted due to mismanagement or security breaches, it could lead to economic instability. And if Musk's involvement is seen as a political takeover, it could further polarize society and shift the balance of power in Washington. This isn't just about saving money. It's about the fundamental principles of democracy and the role of government in society. Algorithmic trading experience may lead to more employees being fired due to perceived inefficiency. Is that what we want for our society? Let's delve into the specific risks involved, starting with the technical challenges. The primary technical risk is the potential lack of experience and deep understanding of complex governmental systems and IT infrastructure by these young engineers. They may not possess the expertise to understand the law or the administrative needs surrounding these agencies. This could lead to poor decision-making, security vulnerabilities, and system instability. Are we putting the security and stability of our government IT systems at risk by entrusting them to inexperienced individuals? The A-suite level clearance granted to these individuals raises serious concerns about potential misuse of access to sensitive government information. This access, combined with inexperience, could lead to unintentional data leaks, breaches, or misuse of sensitive information. We're talking about everything from personal data to national security secrets. Are the safeguards in place adequate to prevent these types of breaches? Are we truly prepared for the potential consequences? Now, let's talk about the business risks. The biggest concern here is regulatory capture. This suggests that these individuals, potentially influenced by their previous experiences at companies like Neuralink, xAI, and SpaceX, might prioritize the interests of those companies or their own agendas over the public good. This could lead to biased procurement, policy distortions, and inefficient resource allocation. Are we creating a system where government decisions are made to benefit private companies rather than the American people? The backgrounds of the individuals involved, such as former SpaceX interns, Teal Fellows, and OpenAI grant recipients, create potential conflicts of interest. Their previous affiliations might influence their decisions or actions within the government. We need to ensure that these individuals are acting impartially and in the best interest of the public, not their former employers or personal connections. Are we truly vetting these individuals thoroughly enough to identify and mitigate these conflicts of interest? Finally, let's address the ethical risks. The lack of transparency surrounding these appointments and the use of AI raises serious concerns about accountability and public trust. The potential access to sensitive information raises concerns about data privacy violations. And the potential for these individuals to exercise significant managerial control without adequate experience or oversight raises concerns about the misuse of power. Are we sacrificing ethical principles in the name of efficiency and innovation? If AI is used to make decisions about where to cut government spending, there is a risk that the AI will be biased and will disproportionately harm certain groups. Algorithms are only as good as the data they are trained on, and if that data reflects existing biases, the AI will perpetuate those biases. We need to ensure that any AI used in government decision-making is fair, transparent, and accountable. Are we prepared to address the potential for algorithmic bias in these types of applications? So, what's the bottom line? The situation described in these reports has the potential to significantly impact the effectiveness, security, and integrity of government agencies, as well as wider socioeconomic systems. The involvement of inexperienced individuals and potential conflicts of interest raise serious concerns about the future of public service. We need to closely scrutinize the motivations and qualifications of these individuals to ensure they are acting in the best interests of the public. This isn't about being anti-technology or anti-innovation. It's about ensuring that technology is used responsibly and ethically, and that the interests of the American people are always prioritized. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more AI and tech news.